It wasn't long after the talent contest that I started seeing Connie the contortionist, whose real name was Frances. She lived in North Hull, on a place called the Ghost Estate, which Mam reckoned had got its name due to a falling out between developers, which had ended up with one of them dressing up as a phantom and roaming around the place to stop people buying houses on there and look at his properties instead. It went on for some time, until he was unmasked by 14 detectives and a talking dog, which even by our exaggerated standards was a bit far-fetched. I mean, when have you ever heard of detectives in their teens before? You can't just become a detective without the proper training, can you? Even with the benefit of a talking dog. Frances went to St Mary's School, which I always used to confuse with Trinity. Les reckoned it had something to do with me thinking of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I didn't get what he was on about, but when someone mentions the Trinity now, I always think of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost estate. But I wouldn't want that to sound mean-spirited. Frances was my first proper girlfriend. I hadn't managed to date any of the girls who lived near me. Most of them went to Amy Johnson and were on a different plane. If anything, they seemed to prefer the lads of Riley, who had a much more carefree and easy-going approach to life. The thing I remember most about Connie, though, is that she was really clever. One time I went up there, and she decided she was going to help me with my maths by doing sums on North Hull Estate. What happened was, she would add 2 avenues together, and I'd have to lead her to the right answer. We must have spent a whole afternoon crisscrossing Greenwood Ave. I'm not sure it did improve anything, but I do know if you times 6 by 4, you can end up in Barmston Drain. Most of the time, I'd meet her in town and we'd hang around or go to the pictures. We went to see The Spy Who Loved Me together, and she said she really enjoyed it, and that it was really good to see that there were no disabled people or people with disfigurements being used as villains for a change. I wasn't sure what she meant, so I said, "What about Joe's?" And she said he'd had his teeth surgically altered. I was going to say he doesn't speak, but instead I bit me tongue, which was probably what happened to him as well. She was always coming out with really interesting stuff. Another time, we were in the old town, and we went to see the world's smallest window in the land of green ginger. I told her Mam's story about the naive red-headed boy who learned about disappointment there, and she said, maybe it's only disappointing from this side. On the other side, it might look amazing. I remember telling her I thought it was great that she made me see things in other ways, and she said, when you're a contortionist, you look at life from different angles. The last time I saw her, she took me to a favourite place in the whole world, Spurn Head. I'd never been there before and wanted it to be a special day, so I took her some old love arts, which said stuff on them like "Gizzer Croggy," "Don't be nebby," and "Starting a what?" A local phrase book in confectionery form. The place was really bleak and grim, but she said to her it was beautiful. I wasn't keen, especially as it was there where she packed me in. She said she had to concentrate on her O-levels, and I should do the same, and concentrate on my CSEs. To be honest, I'd have been happy just to be able to concentrate. I've tried all sorts to do something about it since then, including having drinks made from concentrate. I don't know about it improving my focus, but I did become more accurate when it came to going to the toilet. I got what she meant, but to this day, I've never been able to go back to spurn. To me, spurn will always be synonymous with rejection, being snubbed, getting the cold shoulder, being dismissed, getting rebuffed, being dumped, getting the brush off, being renounced, getting cast aside, being turned down, getting chucked and getting packed in. And that was the last I saw of her. I wish I'd stayed in touch. Last I heard, her parents had split up and she'd gone to live at a nan's home on Bransholme. The person who told me mentioned something about kin loss, which is exactly the way I'd felt when I'd finished with her. I was devastated.